This is your instructor Dhwani. Welcome to section 1 of Jolly Phonics Teachers Training Program. In this section, we are going to learn what is Jolly Phonics and its importance during early childhood years. Jolly Phonics is fun-filled and child-centered approach of teaching children English reading and writing through systematic synthetic phonics method. It focuses on developing letter and sound relationship and then blending them all together in order to build words correctly and independently. So for example, if I want my child to read the word sat, I would not teach him or her S-A-T, sat, because that's considered as traditional way of teaching children English reading and writing. So what do we do in blending? I would teach my child the sounds that are present in that word. For example, sat, and then blending them all together in order to form that word correctly and fluently. Blending is actually considered as reading technique, whereas segmenting helps children develop their writing skills in English. Once 42 letter sounds, blending and segmenting is introduced to them, we take them to concepts like short and long vowel sounds, tricky words, consonant blends, alternative vowels and spelling rules. This comprehensive Jolly Phonics program or method actually prepares children for English reading and writing during their most formative years. And it's really fascinating to see how children read, write and speak English with so much fluency during their most formative years. Now let's understand why Jolly Phonics is considered to be the most effective method of teaching children English reading and writing. Before I actually explain you why Jolly Phonics is important technique, let's do one practical and fun activity in order to understand why it is important to introduce systematic synthetic Jolly Phonics program to children during their early school years. Now I want you to look at these signs and try to remember it with their respective names. We have exactly 30 seconds to remember these signs with their respective names. So we will follow the sequence horizontally, not vertically. So first is TV, second is home, third is hair, fourth is ball, fifth is food, sixth is banana, seventh is duck, eighth is dog and ninth is apple. Let's try to remember these signs with their names. Now, I want you all to write down the names or the words for these signs. What I want you to do is, if you remember number 1 word or number 1 sign name, put number 1 and write beside it the name for that sign. If you remember number 5th or number 6th, you put number 5th and write beside it the name or the word of that sign, and you can finish the names or the words that you remember. So let's try to understand out of 9 signs, how many signs we can remember. What do you think, out of 9 signs, how many signs you could remember? How many sign names you could recollect? Let's try. Now let's check the answers here. You can cross-check the answers that you have written in your book with the answers that is being shown on the screen. You may have got 2 right or 3 correct or 6 or all of them 9 correct. But let me ask you a question here. Don't you think we all struggled a bit or took some more efforts to remember all these signs with their names? Why do you think this happened with us in spite of having a good memory? That's because our minds were not trained to process these signs. When we try to learn something new for the first time, we all struggle a bit, or we all take some more efforts to learn it. Don't you think that?
Now, the purpose of taking this activity with you all was to make you understand that children also face almost same level of difficulty when they are introduced to English words. It becomes difficult for them to remember different words with different spellings and pronunciations. Hence, it is always recommended to teach children English reading and writing with the help of systematic synthetic phonics scheme.
Hello, welcome to section 3, and in this section we are going to learn Jolly Phonics sounds of group 1, 2, 3 and blending. Before I teach you the sounds of group 1, 2 and 3, let me first show you the division of all the 42 letter sounds of Jolly Phonics. Now let's begin with group 1 sounds. As you already know that Jolly Phonics is child-centered and fun-filled approach, we make sure to teach children all the 42 letter sounds with lots of fun and interesting stories. I am going to demonstrate you all the 6 letter sounds of group 1 here so that you can understand how letter sound story is introduced to children. Now let's start with our first sound of group 1. So here I am going to narrate you the story of this letter sound. It is a bright sunny day and there's a boy whose name is Sam, and he has a pet dog whose name is Samson. Samson is very active and playful dog. So Sam and Samson goes to park. They start to play with the stick. While they were playing with the stick, they hear a weird sound. So they look here, they look there, and when they look in front, they see there is a large spotty snake that is raising from the grass, and it made the hissing sound . So students, the sound and action of this letter is S. Each and every sound has their own actions. It actually helps children to remember the sounds with the help of actions. Now, can you tell me some words that have the sound S in it? Words like snake, grass, bus, nest, soap, strawberry, spider, and alike. So the sound and action that we have learned for this letter is we make a snake with the hand. Now let's learn the sound of this letter. There is a family whose name is Annie family. And there are siblings, Alice and Alex. Annie family is on a picnic. Alice and Alex, they are playing in a park. After some time, they become hungry, so Alice eats jam and bread, and Alex is eating an apple. After some time, Alice feels ticklish sensation on her arms, and she sees there are some ants which are crawling up her arms. So she rubs her arms and says the sound ah, ah, ah to get rid of the ants. So the sound and action of this letter is ah, ah, ah. We make it only once, we just say it once, ah. Okay, now students, I would like to tell you something here, that ah sound is loud sounds. So when you teach this sound to your children, make sure that your mouth and their mouth is opened wide, so the sound of ah is heard clearly. Because when we say the words like apple, ant, alligator, ambulance, axe, apricot, we actually hear that the sound that this letter is making is little loud. And that is the reason why we tell children that when you say the sound of this letter, open your mouth wide enough. Okay. Now one thing I would like to share here is, students, when we narrate the story of letter sounds, we focus more on the characters or the words or the names that has that particular sound in it. For example, while I was narrating the story of a sound, I made sure that I was taking more and more names wherein we could hear a sound. For example, Annie family, Alice, Alex, jam, apple, ant. So we make sure that when we are narrating story of letter sound, our focus should be more on sounds and not the moral. Now let's learn third sound of group 1, and we're going to learn the sound of this letter. There are two friends, Tenny and Tisco, who goes to watch a tennis match. There's a big crowd there. When two tennis players came out on the court, everybody started to clap. The match began. The people in the crowd turned their head from side to side to the sound that the tennis ball was making, like this. T, 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 t. So the sound and action of this letter is t, t. Can you all do it with me? Come on. Now students, I would like to share something here with you, is that the sound of this letter is t and not t. Because if we try to put the sound t in a word, the pronunciation that we get from that word may sound little weird or wrong. For example, when I say the word ant, I clearly hear the sound that letter T is making t, ant. But when you say the sound t, children may add up that in the end, and they might say the word ant as and t, which is ideally wrong. So we make sure that we do not add a in the end so that the word is pronounced correctly and it is heard correctly. So the sound and action of this letter is t. T. Can you tell me some words that have the sound t in it? Yes, you're right. It's ant, tent, top, tip, ten, and alike. Now let's learn the next sound of group 1. Ivan has a white pet mouse. One evening, he forgets to lock his mouse into the cage. The mouse comes out and suddenly she sees the cat. She quickly runs around the desk and crash! She bumps into a bottle and the ink spills all over her body. She's wet and she squeaks, "Ee, ee, 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 ee." So the sound and action of this letter is ee, 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 ee. Now students, let me share this with you. When we say the sound of this letter, the sound of this letter is short. So when we say the sound, it should be E and not E. Because when we say the words like India, iguana, ink, we actually hear the sound E and not E. We don't say India, iguana, ink, injection. We call it ink, India, iguana, injection, like that. So keep that in mind. When we say the sound of this letter, the sound that we get is E, E, E. Because I have personally experienced that sometimes children may get confused and they end up saying the sound of this as E. But that's actually wrong. So make sure when you are teaching this sound to children, more emphasis should be given on the sound E and not E. We have already discussed the words that has E sound in it, just like ink, India, igloo, pin, tip, spit, mint, and etc. Now let's learn the next sound of group 1. It is Paul's birthday. He invites his friends for his birthday party. He wears perfect purple dress for his birthday. His friends get him nice pink pig cake. Paul blows the candles going p, p, p. So the sound and action of this letter is p, p, p. It is not p or p. It is p, p, p. Let's have some words that have the sound p in it. Words like pink, pig, pop, purple, tip, pant, pot, pineapple, and the like. Now let's learn the last sound of group 1. Noah is going for a fishing with her grandfather. Noah and her grandfather settles down to catch the fishes. They keep quiet and sit still so that they can catch more fishes. Suddenly, they see a plane that was flying over their head, and it made the sound Come on, let's be an aeroplane and make the sound Yes, that's right. Now students, the sound of this letter is and not n. If the sound is n, then words would be fan, man, pen, and we don't say fan, man, pen. It's fan, pin, man. So what you have to do is you have to make sure that you touch your tongue to the upper palate of your mouth and don't drop your tongue. The moment you drop your tongue, it will become n. See, just like this. Keep it intact. Okay? Now, let's discuss some words that have the sound in it. Can you think of some words? Yes, we have so many words. Words like nest, nib, pant, nurse, necklace, and so on. So the sound and action of this letter is Students, it is always recommended to teach children phonics with lots of fun activities and games. I would like to share one nice activity that you can use when you are teaching children phonics sounds. So the game is known as clap game. So what do we do in this game is, you can choose any sound whichever you like out of group 1. That can be s, at, e, So for example, here I am taking the sound, say a, okay, and then I tell my children, teacher is going to tell you some words. If you hear a sound in that word, you are going to clap for that word. I repeat, if and only if you hear a sound in that word, then only you are going to clap. If you do not hear a sound in a word, you do this. That means there is no a sound in that word. Are we all ready? I would like you all to play this game with me. Come on, let's start. We are going to focus on a sound. So your first word is ant. Ant. Do you hear a sound in ant? Yes, I hear, so I'm going to clap for it. The next sound is pin. Sorry, my mistake, not sound, the word. The next word is pin. Do you hear a sound anywhere in a word pin? I don't hear a sound in a word pin, so I don't clap for it. Next word is jam. Jam. I clearly hear a sound in jam, so I'm going to clap for it. Next word is map. Map. I can hear a sound in map, so I'm going to clap for it. And the last word is mug. Mug. Do you hear a sound anywhere in a word mug? I don't hear, so we don't clap for it. This activity is actually very good for children when you are teaching, when you are introducing them sounds. You as a teacher will also come to know that which child has understood the sounds taught in classroom. I hope this helps you. Now let's have a quick recap of all the 6-letter sounds of group 1 with their actions. S, A, T, I, P, and the last one is N. Students, I would like to share one important tip with you here that will really help you to understand the sound and say that sound properly. Sometimes it becomes little difficult for adults to say the sound clearly, and especially this will help you for consonant sounds. So the tip is that if you are unable to pronounce or you are unable to understand the sound, try to say a word in which you hear that sound in the end. I repeat the instructions. If you are unable to understand or produce any particular sound, specifically I am talking about consonant sound. In consonant sounds it will really help you. Try to say a word in which you hear that sound in the end. For example, I am not able to get the sound P. Okay, I am not able to say it clearly. So, I have to think of any word in which I hear that sound in the end. So, for example, let's say the word cap, cap, cap. So, you can literally hear the correct pronunciation of the sound P. So, when you say the word cap, map, lip, I literally hear that sound P. Let us take another example. For example, I am not able to say the sound for say N. For letter N sound, I am not able to produce it. I am not able to say the sound of letter N properly. So let me say some words that has the sound N in the end of that word. So words like fan, I automatically get the sound. Pin. You don't actually have to struggle for it. Just say the word in which you hear that sound in the end and it will be very easy for you. I hope this really helps you.
Snake. The snake is in the grass. The snake is in the grass. The snake is in the grass.
A, ant.
Ants on my arm. Ants on my arm. Ants on my arm. They're causing me alarm.
Tennis.
When I watch the tennis game, when I watch the tennis game, my head goes back and forth.
I, ink.
Inky the mouse is my pet. She spilled the ink and got wet. The ink is spread all over the desk. Inky's wet.
Puff.
Puff out the candles on the pink, pink cake. Puff out the candles on the pink, pink cake. Puff, puff, puff.
Net.
Hear the aeroplane, hear the aeroplane, hear the aeroplane, making lots of noise.
learn Group 2 sounds in this video. Students, I have already narrated 6 letter sound stories of Group 1 in previous videos so that you basically get an idea how to narrate stories of letter sounds. I have already given you all the 42 letter sound stories in your resources. I would request you to please download all your resources from resources section below for your future reference. Now let's begin with Group 2 sounds. The first sound that you can see in Group 2 is this. You can see 2 letters together, C and K. The reason is that letter C and K has same sounds, k, 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 as in cat and k as in kit. Now children may sometimes get confused when to write letter C for k or K for k. Now here actually there is a rule when to write letter C or K for k, but this would be really early for them to understand the spelling rule. So what we do is we try to name the sounds according to their letter names. So for example, if you can see, letter C is looking like curly caterpillar, so we call it as curly k, curly k. And you can see letter K is looking like as if it is kicking someone, so we name it as kicking k. This is curly k, or you can call it as caterpillar k, and this one is kicking k. Now let me show you the action of curly k and kicking k. So for curly k, what you do is we are playing a castanets. So we say k, k, k. And for kicking k, we fly a kite. K, k, k. And we also tell children that children, when you see letter C and K together, again it makes the same sound and the sound remains the same, k, k, k. So if you want to give children words for writing, students, what you have to do is you have to tell them whether to start that word with curly k or kicking k. So for example, if I want my children to write the word cat, cat, I would tell them, please start with curly k. If I want my child to write the word kit, I have to tell them, you will write kicking k for k sound. So they know I have to write letter K and not letter C. And you also tell them, you will write letters CK, best friends, together whenever you give them words like pick, pack, duck. You just tell them, write CK for k, so they understand it. So in short, students, we have 3 different ways of writing k. First is caterpillar k, or you can call it curly k. Next one is kicking k, and together also we say k. Okay. Now let's have some words that have the sound k in it. There are so many words like cat, king, kangaroo, picnic, cup, cot, pink, and the like. Now students, when you are discussing these words, make sure the words which you are saying, it should just be for oral and not for written, because I have not yet taught my children the sound g. So they won't be able to write g until and unless I teach them. Next sound that we're going to learn is this. Letter E makes the sound eh, eh, eh. How do you break your egg? Eh, eh. Okay? Now students, you may have observed that when we say the sound eh, it is a dull sound. It is not like a loud sound. It is dull sound eh. Sometimes it happens that children may get confused between the sounds a and eh. So how do I help them understand between a and eh? I tell them when teacher is opening her mouth wide enough, she is eating an apple. So they know I have to write letter A for the sound a. Words like map, cap, tap, pat. Naturally, your mouth is opened wide when we say these words. And words like pen, net, ten, tent, such kind of words, we actually don't open our mouth wide enough. It's not possible only because the sound is a dull sound. So we tell children, when teacher is eating an egg, I can't open my mouth wide enough. So my mouth is partially shut and partially open. That means the sound is eh. This technique will really help your children understand and differentiate between a and eh. Okay, let's discuss some words that has the sound eh in it. For example, egg, pen, net, ten, set, pest, and etc. Next sound is, we just blow air from our mouth and the sound is words like hip, hop, hat, hint, hen, hot, etc. Next sound is sound of letter R, and R makes the sound rrr. We go this way, rrr. Okay. Let's discuss some words that have the sound rrr in it. Words like red, rent, rim, then it can be rose and alike. Next sound is this. The sound of letter M is and what do we do in this sound? The action that we make in this sound is we rub our hand, we rub our palm on our tummy as if you have eaten yummy food that's prepared by your mama, and we say okay. Let's discuss some words that have sound in it. Words like mop, mint, mat, man, mango, monkey, and the like. Next sound is D. Letter D makes the sound D. We play our drum. D, 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 D. Okay? Can you think of some words that have the sound D in it? Yes, words like dim, dent, dot, duck, desk, and alike. Now let me share one game idea with you, and we call it as draw a picture. So what we do in this is, you can say any sound out of group 1 and 2, because so far we have taught only 2 groups, group 1 and 2. So you can take up any sound and you motivate children to draw a picture that starts from that sound. So for example, I say my children, can you draw something that starts from the sound Let them think, give them some time, and then they can go on drawing pictures that start from sounds. They can draw a picture of monkey, mango, mat, and other pictures like it can be fruit, vegetable, anything which they can draw. This will really help them understand the sound. So this game can be played with your children. Another game which you can play with your children is you can actually draw pictures of all the sounds that you have taught so far, and then you can give them a duster. You say a sound and let them erase the picture that is starting from that sound. So for example, I have so many pictures drawn on my whiteboard. It could be mango, drum, hut, snake and the like. And then you say the sound. For example, you say the sound Now they have to search a picture that starts from sound, and then they have to erase it. This is an ideal activity for them to understand the sounds, and sounds are the actual base. If the sounds are not clear, they won't be able to understand further concepts of phonics. I hope this will really help you. Now let's have a quick recap of all the sounds of group 2. The first sound is curly k or caterpillar k. I repeat, curly k or caterpillar k. Next one is kicking k, kicking k. And when you see both the friends together, it says the same sound, k, k. It is not k, we don't say black, we say black. Remember the tip. Next one is eh, eh. We break the egg, eh, dull sound. Next one is we just blow air from our mouth. It is not h, it is h. Next one is r. Next one is you rub your palm on your tummy. And the last one is d, d, d.
K, k, cat.
We are clicking castanets. We are clicking castanets. We are clicking castanets. Clicking castanets. We are clicking castanets. Kites are flying in the sky. Kites are flying in the sky. Kites are flying in the sky. Flying in the sky. Kites are flying in the sky.
Egg.
Eggs in the pan, eggs in the pan, eggs in the pan, crack the egg like this,
Hop.
I like to hop, 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 up and down. I like to hop, 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 all around. I like to hop, 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 up and down.
Rag.
See my puppy rip the rag, See my puppy rip the rag when he pulls so hard.
Meal.
The mom and the dad make many meals. The mom and the dad make many meals for their hungry children.
Drum.
See me play on my drum. Playing drums is lots of fun with a da 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 da. See me play upon my drum.
video, we are going to learn group 3 sounds. The first sound that we're going to learn in group 3 is G. G. As in water is gurgling down. G, 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 G. Okay. Can you think of some words that have the sound G in it? Words like green, frog, fig, grapes, and the like. Next sound is O. 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 The sound this letter makes is O and not O. Many a times children may end up saying O. The sound of this is O. So we tell them the sound is O and O is this letter's name. Hi Mr. O, how are you today? Can you tell us your sound? So Mr. O is saying my sound is O. 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 Let's think of some words that have the sound O in it. Words like orange, ostrich, pond, frog, and the like. Next sound is So how do we do the action of how do you open your umbrella? It goes this way. Up goes umbrella. Words like up, earn, umbrella, uncle, unhappy, mug, duck, and the like. Next sound is It is not L, it is okay. Let's think of some words that have the sound in it. Words like ball, fill, lemon, smile, lipstick, and the like. Next sound is So imagine that you have a floating fish with you and it gets a hole and air comes out of it saying the sound. Words like fin, frog, fish, fig, and the like. And the last sound of group 3 is B. B. So how do we hit a ball with the bat? It's B. 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 Okay. Can you think of some words that have B sound in it? There are so many words. Words like bat, ball, banana, Bournemouth. Yeah, you can actually add up words like this as well, because we are just saying all these words in oral. We are not giving our children all these words for writing. So it's completely fine if you say the words like Bournemouth and Brazil and Brisbane. It's completely fine. Okay. Now let's do the blending of group 3. So you can directly show word cards to children and you can motivate them to read words with the help of sounds. So they have to say the sound and read the words like this. B-r-e-k, break. K-up, cup. Frog, frog. D-a-k, duck. G-r-e-o, grill. Now students, I would like to share something here. Sometimes it happens that children may say these two sounds individually, like G-r-e-o-o. So you tell them that whenever you see two same letters together, we have to say the sound only once. We can't say grill. It is G-r-e-o, grill. Okay. Next one is but, but. Flag, flag. Gift, gift. Soft, soft. Luck, luck. This is how children will start reading words independently with the help of sounds. It's a game time! This time, I want you to play this game with me. And the game is Sound Bingo. For this, I would like you to please take a book and pen, and I'm going to instruct you how you're going to play this game. It's quite simple but very interesting. Your children are going to love this game. So whenever you're teaching them sounds, make sure to include this game Sound Bingo with them, and they are going to have lots of fun in their class. Okay, let's start with this game Sound Bingo. I want you to quickly grab a book and pen with you, and I want you to draw any 7 pictures of your choice. Any 7 pictures, like roughly, not so accurately I expect. Any 7 pictures you can draw roughly out of all these pictures. I give you 30 seconds for it, and then I'm going to explain you what exactly this game is all about. So the pictures which you can see is ant, injection, mug, drum, lollipop, tin. The animal which you can see is elf, it's E-L-F, elf. Then the thing which is looking like a pot, I call it urn, U-R-N, urn, bell, grass, clock, sun and octagon. I hope you all must have drawn 7 pictures. Now let me explain you how we are going to play this game. So I assume that we all are playing this game in a group. This is a group game. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the first sound of the picture. If you think that you have drawn a picture that starts from that sound which I said, you have to circle that picture and you got 1 sound bingo. So for example, if I said the sound ah, and if you think that you have drawn the picture and, which is starting from a sound which I said, then you have to circle it and you get 1 sound bingo. Now if you get 5 bingo, anyone who gets 5 bingo at the earliest is the winner. That is the reason why this is a group game. So I assume that we all are playing this game in a group. Let's get started. So the first sound is E. 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 If you think you have drawn a picture that starts from E sound, circle it. Next sound is B. 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 Third sound is K. 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 Fourth sound is L. L. Fifth sound is as in fish. If you have got 5 bingo, then you are a winner right now. Let me proceed ahead with the other sound. Next sound is O. 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 If you have got 5 bingo now, then you are a winner. Next sound is G. 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 Many of you must have got 5 sound bingos now. And I'm going to say the last sound. That sound is D. 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 If you have got 5 sound bingo, then you are a winner. This is how we continue saying the sound, and any child who gets 5 bingo at the earliest is the winner. But what I like to do is I like to make sure that I complete this activity with all my children and each and every child gets their 5 sound bingo. So I continue saying all the sound until all the picture sound are said. So none of the children are left out for it. I hope you understood this game, this activity, Sound Bingo. Now let's quickly have recap of all group 3 sounds. First is G. Next one is A. Next one is A. L. And the last one is B. B.
G. G. Gurgle.
The water gurgles down the drain. The water gurgles down the drain. The water gurgles down the drain with a gurg, 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 gurg.
Ah. Ah. On.
Now it's dark, the lights go on. Oh, 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 oh. Time for bed, the lights go off. Oh, 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 oh.
Umbrella.
Up go umbrellas. Up go umbrellas. Up go umbrellas when it starts to rain.
Ooh. Ooh. Lollipop.
We lick our lollipops. We lick our lollipops. Oh, 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 oh. We lick our lollipops.
Fish.
My friends and I went to the beach with my floating fish. It got a hole, the air came out.
Bat.
Bring your bat and bring your ball. Bring your bat and bring your ball to the park to play.
Hi, now let's start with our group 5. So the first sound that we are going to learn in group 5 is this, and letter Z makes the sound Z. If you can hear me properly, it is Z and not S. See students, there is a difference in voiced and unvoiced sound. Now what do you mean by voiced and unvoiced sounds? Voiced sounds are those sounds which come from your throat. You actually feel vibration on your throat. So when you say the sound Z, you can put your hand over your throat and you can literally feel vibration. That means sound is coming from your throat. Zzz. That means it is voiced sound. What is unvoiced sound? When you say that particular sound, you don't feel any vibration. That means that sound is not originating from your throat. So if you say the sound of letter S, that's S, S. You can put your hand over your throat and you can feel I feel no vibration. That means S is unvoiced sound. I hope you understand difference between what is voiced and what is unvoiced sound. So our letter Z makes voiced sound like Z. And action we do is we be a honey bee and we buzz around trees. Zzz. That's the action. Next sound we have is this. This makes the sound W, 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 W. Now students, when you say the sound of letter W, your mouth expression should be very crisp and clear. Because sometimes your children may get confused between the sound W and V. That's letter W and V's sound. So we make sure that we make children understand the difference between W and V with help of our mouth movements. So when we say the sound of letter W, that's W, W, W. You feel as if you are kissing someone. It's like that. W, W, W. Like wind, water, walrus, wall, west. So you can literally see that when you are saying all this word, you actually feel that you are blowing kiss to someone. So the sound and action of this letter is W and not V. Next, we have a digraph again. So when you see NG together, we say the sound ng. Ng. If you don't get the sound, remember the tip I told you? Try to say the word in which you hear that sound in the end. So let's say the word strong. Strong. What sound do you hear in the end? Ng. That's the correct sound of this digraph NG. And action is, you all must have gone to gym and you lift the weight and you grunt and groan saying mm, mm, mm. That's the sound and action of this. Next one is letter V. Letter V makes the sound V. V. So when we say the sound of letter V, you feel as if you are biting your lower lip. You feel vibration on your lower lip. So words like van, violin, vegetable, vase, vulture. This is something that when we say all these words, it sounds correct. Moreover, you can literally understand that when we say all these words, that V is making the sound V. It really looks very funny if we say words like van, vulture, vegetables. So what I did here is, just to make it clear for you, I replaced my sound of V with W. So it actually doesn't look good when we say vegetable or van. It looks nice when you say van, vegetable. I hope you understand this technique. So when you have to make children write the words, you tell them that when teacher is blowing a kiss, wind, I'm blowing a kiss. So they will write W. They know it's W. And when I'm saying van, teacher is biting lower lip. So they know I have to write letter V for it. And the last sound that we have in group 5th is oo. Now students, you must have observed that we have two oos, 1 and 2. That means it has short and long vowel sounds. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's short oo and long oo. So short oo is when we just say oo, and long oo is when we say oo. Are we getting it? So words like book, we hear short oo, book. And in a word like moon, I hear long oo. So there are some words wherein we have to say short oo, and there are some words wherein we have to say long oo. Then only the pronunciations that we get from those words become correct. So short oo is oo and long oo is oo. And action goes this way, oo, oo. So for short oo, you take your head back, oo. And for long oo, you take your head ahead, oo. That goes this way, oo, oo. Are we getting it? Now students, my question to you here is, how would my child come to know if he or she has to read short oo or long oo in a word? What if he reads food as food? So what we tell children is, children, you use both the sounds in a word and identify which one do you think is sounding correct. So for example, ood, food, or ood, food. So they will realize, they'll understand that in some words we have to say short oo, and in some words we have to say long oo. Now students, in order to bifurcate short oo and long oo, we are going to do one nice activity. So for that, I would want you to please take a book and pen with you. Okay, so are we ready with our book and pen? Great. What are you going to do in this activity, students? You are first going to divide your page. You will do this activity on fresh page. You will divide your page into two parts. You will make a column. Okay, in first column you will write short oo, and in second column you will write long oo. Now I am going to dictate you some words, and if you think that word has short oo sound in it, you will write it under short oo column. And if you feel that this particular word has long oo sound in it, you will have to write it under long oo column. Are we all ready? Come on, let's start. So your first word is look. Look. What do you think? Look has short oo or long oo? So accordingly you have to put it under the correct column. Second word is spoon. Spoon. Your next word is room. Room. Your next word is took. Took, as in she took my pencil. Next word is gloom. Gloom. Next word is cook. I love to cook. Next word is proof. What proof do you have? Proof. Next word is good. Good, as in you did a good job. Good. Next word is hook. Hook. And your last word is igloo. Igloo. Now let me tell you answers and you can check it right away. First I am going to tell you short oo sound words. So words like look, took, cook, good and hook are your short oo sounds, short oo words. And your long oo words are spoon, room, gloom, proof and igloo. These are your long oo words. I hope you enjoyed this activity and you can do this very well with your children in classroom. Now let's do blending of group 5. Come on, let's begin. Swim. Long, long. And van. See, when I said the sound of letter V, I am actually biting my lower lip. And van. And I don't say wa and van. It sounds literally funny. Next is spoon. Spoon. Next is bring. Next word is moon. Next word is buzz. Weed. Now when I say the sound of this letter W, I don't bite my lower lip. I don't say weed. I say weed. So I blow a kiss when I say the sound of W. That's W. Next is vet. Now here I bite my lower lip because it's vet. Now if I replace the sound with W, then it will become W. It will be wet and not wet. So you can literally understand, students, when we replace the sound, it can literally change the meaning of the word. Okay, next one is wa, u, o, wo. Next is strong, strong. And the last word is o, u, k, look. Now let's have a quick recap of all the sounds of group 5. It is z. Next one is wa, wa. Next one is mm. Next one is v. We drive a car when we say the sound v. And the last one is oo, oo. Short oo is oo and long oo is oo.
Z, z, buzz.
Did you ever hear a bee buzz, a bee buzz, a bee buzz? Did you ever hear a bee buzz? Zzz, like this.
W, w, wind.
I see the clouds moving, wah wah wah. I see the kites flying, wah wah wah. I see the trees bending, wah wah wah. The wind is blowing strong.
Strong.
If you're strong and you know it, say If you're strong and you know it, say If you're strong and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're strong and you know it, say
V, v, van.
Drive Big Spam round the village. Drive Big Spam round the village. Drive Big Spam round the village.
Book. Ooh, ooh, moon.
Who wants to be a cuckoo? Who wants to be a cuckoo? Who wants to be a cuckoo? Ooh, 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 ooh.
Hello, welcome to section 5, and in this section we are going to learn group 6 and 7. Now let's start with group 6 sounds. The first sound that we are going to learn in group 6 is letter Y sound, and Y makes the sound Y, 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 Y as in yogurt, yellow, yacht, yo-yo, and so on. Next sound that we're going to learn is letter X. Letter X says X, X, X. As you can hear, letter X has two sounds in it. X, X, X. That's because letter X does not have its own sound. It borrows the sound from letter K and S. So when you say the word box, I hear two sounds that letter X is representing. X. Okay? Words like box, fox, six, tax, etc. Next sound that we're going to learn is CH. CH together makes the sound ch, 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 ch. as in chips, champ, chocolate, chimpanzee, and alike. Next sound is letter SH together makes the sound sh, sh, as in shop, ship, fish, dish, shallow, and so on. Okay, now students, you must have observed that we have two TH. Now what do we mean by that? We have voiced TH and unvoiced TH. As I have already explained you in my previous video that voice sounds are the one where we can literally feel that sound is originating from our throat, and unvoiced sounds are the one we don't actually feel vibration. That means we just blow air freely from our mouth. The sound does not come from your throat. So one sound is voiced sound and one is unvoiced sound. So voiced TH is you can feel shivering as in this, that, these, those, feather, and alike. And unvoiced TH is you just blow air from your mouth as in three, thin, teeth, tenth, thin, etc. Voiced TH is and unvoiced TH is Now let's do blending of group 6. Come on, let's start. Chest, chest. Ox, fox. Yes, yes. Imp, chimp. Sixth, sixth. Fresh, fresh. Three. Yet, yet. Flash, flash. Six. Thank you. Now let's do some segmenting practice. As I've already explained you in previous video that segmenting is breaking down word into the smallest units. Okay, come on, let's start with our segmenting practice. So your first word is yes. How many sounds do we hear in a word yes? It is y, e, s. 3 sounds are there. So you can ask children, can you write that word for me? Y, e, s. So they can write y, e, s. Yes. Second word is ship. Ship. How many sounds do we hear in a word ship? Sheep. Ship. So they write sh. They know sh is sh, e is I, and p is p. So they are able to write the word ship now. Next word is champ. Champ. You can stretch it so that they can hear it clearly. Champ. I can hear 4 sounds in a word champ. Your next word is moth. Moth. How many sounds are there in a word moth? Moth. Moth. And your last word is that. That. How many sounds you can hear in a word that? It's at, that. So students, what you can do once you introduce segmenting to them, make sure that you take blending and segmenting practice every day so that their reading and writing goes simultaneously. It's a game time. I'm going to share one very interesting and beautiful game for your children, and I call it as my hungry Santa. My Santa is very hungry and my Santa loves eating words. So I'm going to feed him words. So what you can do in this, students, you can directly say words to children and you can give them pile of cards like this. You can have pile of cards and you can put it on the desk. You say the word and they have to find the correct word card and they have to feed it to Mr. Hungry Santa. Let's start. So first I say the word thank. Thank. Now give them some time. Let them think what all sounds I can hear in a word thank, and they have to look at the word cards and they will search where is the word thank. Okay, I got the word thanks, and then you can ask them to feed the word thank to Mr. Hungry Santa. Next word you can tell them is flash. Flash. And they have to search. Okay, the sounds I can hear is flash. So they search the card for you, flash. And then they feed the word flash to Mr. Hungry Santa. They really love doing this activity. They look forward to feed Mr. Hungry Santa the words. I hope this activity will really help you and you will definitely implement this activity with children in your classroom. Now let's have a quick recap of all the sounds of group 6. The first sound we have is y, y, y. Next sound is x, x. Next is ch, ch, ch. Next is sh. And the last one is voiced THs and unvoiced THs.
Y, y, yogurt.
I like to eat yogurt and bananas. I like to eat yogurt and bananas. I like to eat yogurt and bananas. Yeah, 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 yeah.
X, x, fox.
Take an X-ray, take an X-ray, take an X-ray, X-ray of my hand.
Ch, ch, chicken.
Trains are chugging up the hill. Ch, 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 ch. Trains are chugging up the hill. Ch, 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 choo, choo.
Shh, shh, hush.
Hush, 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 don't make a sound. Be as quiet as you can be. The baby's asleep and I'm tired out. Shh, 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 shh.
This. Three.
Did you ever hear a rude clown make this sound and that sound? Did you
section 6. In this section, we are going to learn letter formation and consonant blends. Hi, let's learn letter formation first. Before I explain you letter formation, I would like to do one practical activity with you right now so that you can relate better. For this, I would request you to please grab your book and pen. I would request everybody to please do this activity with me so that you can understand what all difficulties children go through when writing is introduced to them for the first time. Are we all ready with our book and pen? Okay, great. Now I am going to tell you some words orally and you have to write those words with your non-dominant hand. Yes, you heard it right. You are going to write those words with your non-dominant hand. So if you are right-handed person, you have to write it with your left hand and vice versa. We are going to write 5 words, so I would request everybody to please put 5 numbers in your book. Come on, let's get started. Your first word is sun. Sun. Your second word is photo. Photo. Your third word is filibronza. Whatever you understand, you have to write. Filibronza. Your fourth word is elephant. Elephant. And your fifth word is kangabulladilla. Yeah, you have to write that. Whatever you understand, I told you. Write the fifth word, kangabulladilla. Now, students, do you think children also face these difficulties when writing is introduced to them for the first time? Yes, they do face all these difficulties what we faced while writing with our non-dominant hand. And you know what is the most common reason why they face difficulties while writing for the first time? It is poor fine motor skills. What is fine motor skills? Fine motor skills is development of gaining control over small muscles. Small muscles like finger muscles, palm muscles, wrist muscles, elbow muscles, which actually help them for writing skills. Lack of fine motor development can have cascading effects on other areas of writing, such as gripping, poor pincer grip, poor handwriting, poor speed, poor alignment, irregular font size, and poor eye-hand coordination. Now, why do you think eye-hand coordination is needed for writing? Let me help you understand this with practical example. I would want you to please write your name with your preferred hand. Write your name. My name is your name and I love learning Jolly Phonics while keeping your eyes closed. You'll keep your eyes closed and you will write my name is your name and I love learning Jolly Phonics. And after you finish writing, just open your eyes and see what has happened when there is poor eye-hand coordination. You all must have experienced what happens when eye and hand is not coordinated while writing. That is the reason why eye-hand coordination is very important when writing. Now, in order to develop their fine motor skills, we expose children to lot of fine motor activities. Now, in order to develop their fine motor skills, we make children do lot of activities that help them develop their muscular movements. Activities like clay modeling, Lego bricks, lacing, threading the bead, pop-up toys, hammer set, drawing, catching and throwing, puzzles, and activities wherein children have to actively involve their hands and eyes, which is very good for their writing skills. Moreover, it is also very important for children to develop correct pincer grip for comfortable writing. What is pincer grip, students? Pincer grip is when we make use of our first two fingers and a thumb. So how do we hold pencil? We hold pencil with our index finger and thumb, and big finger, taller finger is for resting. This is called as pincer grip. Now, why do you think we make use of first two fingers only, and why not the rest of the fingers? Let me help you understand this with practical example. If you have pen or pencil with you, I would like you to please put pencil or pen between first two fingers, and I want you to move that object. So it can easily move. Please don't move your wrist. You have to move just the fingers. It can easily move. And the rest two fingers are tucked inside. What you will do now is you have to put it between second and third finger, and these two fingers is tucked in. Now I want you to please move your pencil with these two fingers. It's quite inflexible, not happening. Now the last one, you will put pencil between last two fingers and try to move. It's not that flexible like your first two fingers, and this is the reason we make use of first two fingers and thumb for writing. Now students, in order to ease the movement of writing for children, we can make them do this popular activity which is called as froggy legs exercise. So what do we do in froggy legs exercises? We ask children, we are going to jump a frog, and if you have green color marker, you can shade this portion with green color, and then you can ask children, come on children, we are going to jump a frog today. So when you go up, you have to tuck in two fingers. When you come down, release it. Tuck in, release. Tuck in, release. Come on, let's do faster. Ting, 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 ting. I want you to go slow, and then they go slow. So you can increase and decrease the speed moderately, so they will have good control over their finger muscles. This is an ideal activity for their movement. It will ease their movement. So students, this froggy leg activity or froggy leg exercise will not only help them in gripping, but it will also help them overcome other writing issues. Students, when you feel confident about your children's fine motor skills, you can gradually introduce to them letter formation. Now let's discuss some fun activities to introduce letter formation to children. Students, as you already know that Jolly Phonics also focuses on writing skills, and hence children should be able to know how this particular sound is written in order to write that word. Now let's look at some fun activities to introduce letter formation to children. The first picture which you can see is called as sand writing. So we give children sand tray, and teacher says the sound aloud in the classroom. So if I said the sound B, 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 so child is supposed to write the letter B, as letter B makes the sound B. So child is instructed how to make the letter sound B on that sand. The second picture which you can see is called as sandpaper writing. So children are just expected to move their index finger on the letter formation which is already drawn on that sandpaper card. Children will just move their finger on that formation so that they can understand how is this sound B written. It is helping them to understand mentally how that particular letter sound is formed. Third picture which you can see is Play-Doh writing. So we just give children Play-Doh or clay and you just utter the sound, and children are supposed to make that particular letter sound with the help of Play-Doh. And last one is again a Play-Doh writing, but what we do is we put thin clay or a kinetic sand in a Ziploc bag, and then teacher utters a sound and children are supposed to write that particular letter or letter sound with the help of earbud. So it is actually adding a lot of fun, and they will also be able to take interest when you are introducing letter formation to them. As you already know that Jolly Phonics not only focuses on reading skills, but it also focuses on writing skills as well.
This is the common practice that every preschooler does almost every day. Tracing. Tracing is considered as an effective method of developing their letter formation skills. So you can give them worksheets like this wherein they are supposed to trace the lines which is given on top of the page and letter sounds. So you can ask them to say the sound while tracing the letter sounds and not the name. You may observe that sometimes children may end up saying letter names while tracing that sound. For example, S, S, S. But tell them, motivate them that we are learning letter sound and not the letter name. So while they are tracing the letter sound, motivate them to say the sound instead of their letter names. And then you can ask them to color the pictures like snail, sun, spider, and etc. As you all know that Jolly Phonics not only focuses on reading skills, but it also helps children develop their writing skills simultaneously.
Hello, welcome to section 7, and in this section we are going to learn what is short and long vowel sounds. Our short vowel sounds are A, E, I, O, I repeat, our short vowel sounds are A, E, I, O. And our long vowel sounds are A, E, I, O, U. I repeat, our long vowel sounds are A, E, I, O, U. Now students, I would like you to think here and tell me why A, E, O, are considered short vowel sounds and why A, E, I, O, U are considered long vowels. Can you think and tell me? Let me tell you why A, E, O, are called short vowels. So students, when you say these sounds A, E, O, the time which is taken by these sounds is very short. That means the moment you say the sound, it ends A, E, O, and hence it is called as short vowel sounds. Now let's talk about long vowel sounds. So when we say the sounds A, E, I, O, U, don't you observe that while saying these sounds, the time which is taken by these vowels are little longer than the short sounds. Little longer. Let's compare both of them. A, E, I, O, U. I can literally feel the difference while saying the sounds, and that is the reason why A, E, I, O, U are considered as long vowel sounds. Now let me show you a picture of short and long vowel sounds so that you can understand it well.
Now let's understand short and long vowels with the help of this picture. So the vowels that you can see on top of the fingers are called short vowel sounds. That's a, e, a and a. And the vowels which is written at the bottom of the fingers are called as long vowel sounds. That's a, e, I, o, u. I have already explained you why it is called short vowels and long vowels. It is just because of the time which is taken by the vowels that make them short or long. You can make children do this activity. Let them trace their hand and ask them to write short vowels on top of it and long vowels on the bottom of the hand.
Students, why do you think that we teach children short and long vowel sounds? What is the need? What is the use of teaching children short and long vowel sounds? The reason is that we can have clear meaning, clear understanding of the word when we have understanding of short and long vowel sounds. Let me give you best example here. Slip and sleep. So when I say a word slip, I hear short E, short sound in a word slip. And when I say a word sleep, I hear long sound when I say sleep, that's long E. Now if I mix up short with long and long with short, what will happen? Let me give you an example. If I have to say that today I want to sleep early. Actually, I want to say sleep early, but I mix it up. I say today I want to sleep early. Now, don't you think my opposite person will get confused that why someone would deliberately want to sleep and that too early? Are you getting it? This is the reason why we need to teach children short and long vowel sounds. Okay? Students, now let's do one activity of short and long vowel sounds. You can make children do lot of activity for short and long vowel sounds. You can give them worksheets and you can make them understand the difference between short and long vowel sounds. I'm going to take up one activity here with you and I would want you to please participate in this activity and you are going to enjoy this activity. So what you are supposed to do in this activity, students, I am going to tell you words orally. You have to identify whether that word has short vowel sound or long vowel sound. So if you hear short vowel sound in that word, you have to keep your hand over your heart. You'll keep your hand over your heart. And if you hear long vowel sound, you have to keep your hand over your head. Are you getting it? If you hear short vowel sound, we keep our hand over heart, and if you hear long vowel sound, you keep your hand over your head. Are we ready? This is how they understand short and long difference. Come on, let's start. So your first word is mop. Mop. Try to focus more on vowel sound. Mop. O. O is a short sound, so I'll keep my hand over my heart. Next word is map. 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 A is short sound, so I'll again keep my hand over my heart. Your next word is boat. Boat. Now the vowel sound in boat is O, and O is my long sound. So I'll keep my hand over my head. Next word is duck. Duck. Is short sound. Next word is fuel. Fuel. U is short or long? It's long. U is long sound. Next word is brain. Brain. I can hear A sound. A is long sound. Next word is neck. Neck. E is short sound. And let me tell you last word. Your last word is prick. 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 E is short sound. So students, children can very well differentiate between short and long vowel sounds with the help of this activity. You can also make them do segregating activity. So what you can do is, you can have two baskets, red basket, green basket, whatever color you want. And then you can have a common basket in which you have same color beads of the other two baskets where your children are going to put the beads. Okay. What you can do is, you can ask children words. Let them identify if it has short sound or long sound. So if they hear short sound, they have to pick up yellow bead for short sound and put it in yellow basket. If they hear long sound, they have to pick red bead and they have to put it in red basket. This is one of the activity that can be taken, and if you wish to give them worksheets, you can also give them worksheets to circle or to cross that does not have long sound out of all these short sound. That activities can be taken with children, and make sure that every day you take a revision of short and long vowel sounds so that they don't forget in the long run. Hello, welcome to section 9. In this section, we are going to learn what is alternative vowel sounds. Let's learn what is alternative vowel sounds. So students, before I explain you what is alternative vowel sounds, can you tell me what do you mean by the term alternative? We have come across this word alternative many times. So what do we actually mean by alternatives? So alternatives in simple terms is nothing but options. If this plan is not working, then let's find another alternative plan. If this solution is not working out, let's find another alternative solution. So what do we understand by alternative? Alternative is nothing but if not this, then this. So basically alternative is nothing but many options. So in phonics we have the concept called alternative vowel sounds. That means sound is the same, but we have many alternative ways of writing that particular sound. So for example, if I have taught you the sound A, okay, A. So how we write the sound A? As you remember, we write A-I for A. Now, we have many other alternatives of writing A. So this is in simple terms called as alternative vowel sounds. In total, we are going to learn 9 alternative vowels. Now let's learn our first alternative vowel, and that's A. So we are going to learn alternatives of A sound. As you can see here, there are 3 ways of writing A. First is AI, second is AY, and third is A-E. Now let me explain you each one of them in detail. So the first way of writing A, that's AI, we have already learned in group 4. Remember, it's A. We have already learned it. When we write AI, we say A. So children already know words that has A sound where we write AI. For example, rain, train, faint, paint, and etc. Now let's talk about another way of writing A, that's AY. So students, what you can do is, you can ask children to write the word stay. Children, can you write the word stay for me? So they may write S-T-A. Now here they may write S-T-A-I because I have taught them of writing A as A-I. So they may write S-T-A-I. Now here I will introduce one rule to my children, and it is called as shy I toughy Y. So I tell my children, do you know that Mr. I is very shy to stand alone at the end of the word? So there is Stuffy Y who comes and takes the place of Mr. I. So we write letter Y in the place of letter I. So then we tell them we have got another way of writing A, and we write A-Y for it. And then you can give them words that has the sound A, but we write A-Y for it. Words like may, day, pay, play, pray, stay, Sunday. Such kind of words you can ask children to read. And if you want, you can definitely give these words for writing as well, because writing improves their memory. Now let's learn another way of writing A, and that's A-E. This is called as magic E. Now first let me explain you what is magic E rule. So rule says that whenever you add Mr. E or magic E at the end of the word, the magic of letter E jumps over the vowel that comes before it, and it changes the sound from short to long. So if I write the word hat, okay, the word is hat. So I hear short sound of vowel A, that's a short sound. But the moment I write letter E in the end of the word, it becomes hate. So you can understand that whenever we add letter E at the end of the word, it changes the sound of vowel that comes before it, and it makes short sound longer. So hat becomes hate, and I can hear A sound in the word hate. Similarly, we can give them words to read like fame, flame, name, game, gate, and so on. So, students, you can ask children to read the words that has magic E at the end of the word, and they will have to say the long sound of vowel A, and that's A. Now they understand that whenever magic E is added at the end of the word, I have to say the long vowel sound. The vowel that comes before it, it will give long sounds and not short sound. I hope you understood what is magic E, and you can give them same words for writing. So when you are giving them words for writing, words like hate, name, grape, flame and such kind of words. You just have to tell them that children, we are going to write magic E at the end of the word. Remember, we have third way of writing A, and that's A-E. Let me reiterate, what is magic E? Magic E is nothing but whenever letter E is added at the end of the word, it changes the sound of vowel. It makes short sound say longer. Hat becomes hate. Man becomes main. Can becomes cane, and so on. Hi, now let's learn third alternative, and we are going to learn alternatives of I sound. As you can see in this tree, there are 4 ways of writing I. First is IE, second is I-E, third is single letter Y, and fourth is IGH. So let's discuss each one of them in detail. So first way of writing I is IE, that my children already know. I have already taught them I writing with IE in group 4. So words like pie, tie, lie, die, they already know. Another way of writing I is I-E. Can you tell me what is that? It's magic E. Whenever you see letter E in the end and there's a dash, it's magic E. So words like kite, bite, pipe, 9, ride, smile, wife, all these words you can give your children for reading as well as writing. Just please make sure that whenever you are giving your children writing, remind them that which alternative you are writing, which pattern you are following. So as you know that we are discussing magic E rule pattern. So tell them that you are going to write in the form of magic E. So when you are writing the word bite, you remember it is magic E. You will always write letter E at the end of the word. So you just make sure that you keep reminding them, you keep repeating the instructions so that they don't make mistakes. Okay. Third way of writing I is single letter Y. So we just tell children that children, we have another way of writing I, and we simply write letter Y for it. So simple. Words like dry, cry, fry, fly, sky, my, buy, and so on. This is the most simple way of writing I think so. So you can give them words like this and they can read I with the help of single letter Y. So we tell them that children, we have another way of writing I, and we write single letter Y for it. Okay. Now let's discuss another way of writing I, and that's IGH. So we just tell children that children, we have fourth way of writing I, and we write IGH for it. So when you see IGH together, you are going to read it as I sound. Words like night, fight, flight, fright, bright, might, sight, and so on. You can also give children all these words for writing, but remember, just tell them which pattern are you following, which alternative you want your child to write. So just tell them now you are going to write IGH for I, and that's how they start writing I sound with IGH. Well, Welcome to section 2, and in this section we are going to learn what is phoneme and grapheme. Phoneme is the smallest unit of sound that you can hear in a word. In other words, individual speech sound that make up words are called phonemes. So for example, in a word bat, I repeat the word for you, bat. How many sounds you can hear? I can hear 3 sounds, and it is b-at, bat. Now let me give you another example. How many sounds you can hear in a word hand? Hand. I hear 4 sounds, and the sounds are and. And last example, how many sounds you can hear in a word ship? Ship. I hear 3 sounds, and the sounds are sh, e, p. So phonemes are nothing but the sounds that we can hear in a word are called as phonemes. Now let's understand what is grapheme. Grapheme is nothing but the written representation of your sound. In other words, individual letters or group of letters that represent individual phoneme or that represent individual sound is considered as grapheme. Now, to make it simple for you, let's take the same example that we had taken for blending. So we had taken first word bat, and the sound that we had got in blending was b-at. That's my blending. Sounds, b-at are my sounds and phonemes are sound. Now how do I write b-at? I write b for b, a for a, and t for t. So b, a and t are called my graphemes. Another example, hand. Now which letters make the sound and? The letters H, A, N and D are actually making the sound and. So H, A, N, D are considered my graphemes. And in the last word, shape, it is SH together giving us the sound sh. It is letter I that is making the sound E, and letter P that is making the sound P. Now, if you see here in the last example, ship, it is S and H together which is giving us just one sound, and that is sh. And that's why it is considered as group of letters. So individual letters as well as group of letters can give you one phoneme or one sound. Now there's one rule, and rule says that number of phonemes and graphemes are always equal in a word. Yes, you heard it right. There's a rule, and rule says that number of phonemes and graphemes are always equal in a word. Let's take the same example, bat, hand and ship, in order to understand this rule. So when I say bat, how many phonemes I hear? The sounds b-at. 3 sounds, 3 phonemes. What are the graphemes? B-a-t. 3 letters, 3 graphemes. So rule met. 3 phonemes and 3 graphemes. Next word was hand. What are my phonemes? What are my sounds? And. 4 phonemes I have got, and according to the rule, I should get 4 graphemes only. And we have 4 graphemes. H-A-N-D. Rule met. And last word, shape. Shape. We hear 3 sounds, that's sh, e, p. I repeat, sh, e, p are my phonemes. And what are the graphemes? Graphemes are SH, that's one grapheme. I is my second grapheme. P is my third grapheme. So if you see here, again I have met the rule, 3 phonemes and 3 graphemes in a word ship. Now, there is a possibility that one grapheme can have more than one letter in a word, just the way I explained you in a word ship. So when I say the word ship, the first sound that I got was sh. So if I have to represent my sound sh, I have to write 2 letters together, and that's S and H. Now let's practice few words, and I want you to please try yourself. How many phonemes and graphemes are there in these 4 words? Let's take the first word, ant. Ant. How many phonemes you can hear in a word ant? Yes, you're right. It's 3 sounds. Ant. These 3 are my phonemes. What would be my graphemes? It is A, N and T. A and T are my graphemes. So 3 phonemes and 3 graphemes, rule met. Second word is cloud. Cloud. How many sounds we can hear in a word cloud? I can hear k, loud. I repeat, k, loud. 4 phonemes are there, and the graphemes would be C for k, L for L, OU together is making ow sound, and D is making D sound. I repeat my graphemes, C, L, OU and D. 4 graphemes, 4 phonemes, 4 graphemes, rule met. Another word is star. Star. How many phonemes I can hear? 3 phonemes. St, R. I repeat, st, R. Now let's check for the graphemes, and the graphemes are S, T and AR. AR together is making the sound R. 3 phonemes and 3 graphemes, rule met. And last word, night. Night. How many sounds you can hear when you say the word night? Night. It's night. Night. So I hear 3 phonemes in a word night, and that's night. Okay? And the graphemes would be N, that is making the sound N. IGH together is making the sound I, and letter T is making the sound T. So I have got 3 phonemes and 3 graphemes, my rule met. I would like you to practice more phonemes and graphemes at your home so that you can understand this concept very well. The sheet is attached below. Please download it and do practice these words at home. Hi. In this video, we are going to learn what is blending and why it is important to teach blending. Blending is mixing the letter sounds of a word together in order to build or form a word. Blending is actually a reading technique. Mere teaching children letter sounds will not prepare them for reading words, and hence it is really very important to teach children blending. They will actually understand that when letter sounds are blended together, it can actually give us more meaningful words. There is a popular method of teaching blending to children, and it is called as arm blending. So what do we do in arm blending is that we place the letter sound on our arms and blend them together to form a word. We are going to start from 2 letter sounds. So my first sound is S, and my second sound is A. So the first step in blending is placing the sound. So I have already placed my sound s, a. Now the second step is blending them all together. So you have to make sure when you are blending it, go slow and stretch the sound so that children can hear which word is being formed. So we go this way. Sa, sa, sa. And last step, third step of blending is we say that word quickly so that they understand what is that word exactly. So third step or the last step, we go this way. Sa, sa, sa. Okay. Let's take another example. 2-letter words. That's E. Now students, keep one thing in mind. When you place the sound, you lift your hand. When you place the sound, E, we lift our hand. But when you are blending the sounds together, we don't lift our hand. Okay? So the first step is placing the sound. E. Now second step, I am going to blend them together. In, 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 in. Okay? Let's take the last example, a and t. So I place it this way, a, t. Placing is done, now blending. At, 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 at. This is how 2-letter words blending goes. Now let's practice some 3-letter words blending. So my first word that I am going to blend is s, a, t. So I am going to put them on my arms and blend it together. S, a, t. See, I am lifting my hand when I am placing it. S, a, t. Second step, blending slowly. Sat, 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 sat. Second word is kit. K, e, t. Let me place the sound. K, e, t. Kit, 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 kit. Let's practice the last word. D, a, Let's place it together. D, a, Dam, 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 dam. I hope you understand how arm blending should be done with children. I would like you to practice some arm blending at your own, and here are some words. You can note them down in your book and you can do it as your home practice. Arm blending helps children in building words in their initial stage. However, it should not be habit forming to them. Once you are confident that your children have learned arm blending nicely, you can then introduce to them word cards like this, wherein they are motivated to look at the word, say the sound directly and blend them together to say the word. Let's do blending for group 1 and 2. Let's start with group 1 sounds first. So we go this way. And. I repeat, they are motivated to say the sound because I have already taught them these sounds in group 1. So they have to say the sound, blend them together, and they automatically hear that word is being formed. And. Let's check the next word. P, E, Pin. Next word is eat, sit, in, tin. Students, you yourself can actually observe that when you are saying the sound, you are not actually doing any struggle to read that word. You automatically hear that word is being formed when you are saying the sounds correctly. Pan, pan. Now this is group 2. Man, man. Rat, rat. Bet. Okay, it's pet, pet. It is pet, pet. Red, red. Sack, sack. And we are done. So this is how we make children start reading words by showing them word cards. We will be doing more blending practice as and when we go ahead with our groups. I hope this will really help you for blending. Welcome to section 4, and in this section we are going to learn group 4, 5 and segmenting. Now let's start with group 4 sounds. Students, before I teach you group 4 sounds, I would like to tell you that you must have observed that we have been learning single letter sound or individual letter sounds in group 1, 2 and 3. Now if you observe, from group 4 we are going to learn 2 letters sound, that is called as digraphs. So when 2 letters are put together and when they give us only one new sound is called as digraph. Now to make it simple for you, I would like to perform one live practical activity in front of you so that you understand what is digraph. Let's begin with our activity. You can do the same activity in your classroom to make children understand what is digraph. So I have a glass filled with water. As you can see, there is no color in this water. Can you see any color in this water? I don't see any color in this water. Now I have yellow color with me, and what am I going to do is I am going to take some yellow color. Okay, I am taking some yellow color in my paintbrush, and then I am going to mix in this water. So which color you can see? Which color water you can see now? It is yellow in color. Now I also have another color, that is red color. So I am going to take some red color on my paintbrush and I am going to mix red color in the yellow color. Yeah, so you can see we have got new color, and that is orange. Now what do we understand from this? When I added 2 colors, that's yellow and red, it gave me all the way new color, and that's orange. Similarly, when we have 2 letters put together and when it gives us all the way new sound is called as digraph. Now let me explain you this with examples so that you can understand it well. Let's understand what is digraph with the help of this example. As you can see, I have written 2 different letter sounds, that's A and E. So letter A has its own sound A and letter I has its own sound E. But when we bring them together, it will give us all the way new sound and we call it as A. We don't say A, we call it as A. So when two letters are added together and when they give us all the way new sound is called as digraph. Now let's check the examples below. So when we read the word train, pain, faint, you can see the digraph AI in all these three words, but we hear the sound A in all the three words. We don't read it as tr, a, in, tra, in, p, a, in, pa, in, f, a, in, t, fa, in, t. We don't read it that way. We read it train, pain, faint. So the sound that we hear from this digraph AI is A. I hope you understood it nicely with this example. When two letters come together and they give us all the way new sound, they don't retain their own sound. They say all the way new sound is called as digraph. So now I believe that you must have understood what is digraph. Okay. Now let me tell you the first sound of our group 1, and that is AI. So when you see A and I, two letters put together, it gives us all the way new sound, and the sound is A. The sound is A. Yes. So words like train, pain, gain, grain, stain, faint, paint, such kind of words we can make children read and write for A. So it is A. A. Got it? Next sound is again a single letter sound. Okay? And the sound of this letter is J. So how do you jiggle like a jelly? J, 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 j. So the sound of this letter is J. So we jiggle like a jelly. J, 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 j. Words like jug, jam, jerry, such kind of words you can give children for this sound. Next sound we have, again we have a digraph. So when O and A, two letters are put together, it gives us one new sound, and the sound is O. What do we say? O. Words like boat, float, roast, goat, and alike. Next sound we are going to learn is I and E. So when you see I and E, two letters are put together, the sound, one new sound that we get out of this is I, my captain, I. Words like tie, pie, lie, die. And the last sound is E and OR. So students, in Jolly Phonics, in their story, E and OR is taken together. But if you want to give children reading and writing separately for the sounds E and OR, you can definitely do that. So first, let me tell you the sound and action of E, that's double E. When two E's are put together, the sound it gives is E. And when O and R are put together, it gives us the sound OR. And action goes this way. So you imagine that this is donkey's ears and you say E or E or. This is really funny sound, action, and children love doing this. Now let's do blending of group 4. Here are the words. Let's start blending. Students, I would like you to do blending along with me so that you also get some practice of blending words. Okay? Let's start. R, A, Now, initially, children may find it little difficult because they have been habituated reading single letter sound, so they may call it R, A, E, So you have to remind them that children, you remember, digraphs, when two letters are put together, it gives us only one new sound. So we have just learned when A and I are put together, it gives us only one sound, A. And that's the reason why you can see there's just one dot. That means the sound is only one. That's how you have to keep repeating the instructions and eventually they grasp it. R, A, rain. Let's see the next word. J, g, jug. B, oat, boat. I, lie. Seed, seed. Tell them, when you see two E's together, the sound is E and not E. E is different, E is different. There is a difference in saying slip and sleep. The meaning also changes when we say slip and sleep. So if I will say I want to slip early today, so it's quite confusing that why ma'am wants to slip deliberately. So when I say I want to sleep, so someone can understand it better. So make sure that children pronounce the sound of this digraph properly. It's E, it's a long sound, seed, seed. St or storm. Jet, jet. Green. Die, die. Cork. Paint, and words alike. Now let's play one game, and this game is dumb charades. I would want you to please take a book and pen with you, and you all must have played this game dumb charades during your childhood, and I would like to make some twist and tweaking in this game, and I'm going to make you play with phonic sounds. It is going to be a lot of fun. You can do this with children as well in your classroom. It is quite simple but bit challenging. So let me first explain you what we are going to do in this game. As you all know that in dumb charades, we have to do the actions, okay? So here I will be doing actions of the sounds. You have to identify which sound is that and you have to write that down in your book. And that's how we are going to finish one word. So for example, I did the action this. So you know it is B, so you write B. Then the next action that I did is this. You know it is A, so you write A for it. And third, last action that I did is, so you know it is T, so you write T there. So word is formed B, at, bat. This is what we are going to play in this game, dumb charades. Students, we are going to write 5 words and I would like you to please put 5 numbers in your book. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we all ready? Come on, let's start. So I am going to do actions of first word right now. Okay? Come on, let's begin. So your first sound of first word is this. Done? Next sound is, and the last sound is, okay? You have got your first word. Hold on, it's okay. I'm going to share the answers with you soon. I would want you to please write your second word. First action, first sound of your second word is, second sound is, third sound is, and the last sound is. Done? Let's write third word. First sound of third word is second sound is third sound is and the last sound is write the fourth word. First sound of fourth word. Second sound of fourth word. And let's write our fifth word. Are we all ready? Come on. So I'm doing the first sound, first action of fifth word. Second one is not this one. I'm not doing this one, just this one. And the last one is okay. So we have finished our 5 words and you can check your answers here. Your first word was train, second one was jump, third one was float, fourth one was lie, and fifth one was horn. So without you dictating, without you saying any word or not even saying the sound, your children could write 5 words. Isn't it amazing? Please do try this with your children and they're going to have lots of fun in the classroom. Now let's have a quick recap of all the sounds of group 4. Let's begin. A. It's a digraph. Next is J. 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 Next one is O. Next one is I. And the last one is these 2 sounds and letters go together. That's E or E or. Okay?
A, pain.
My ear hurt, I was in pain. A. My ear hurt, I was in pain. What did you try to say?
J, jam.
Jelly and jam, jiggling on the plate. Oh, what will I eat with it? Ja.
O, goat.
Oh, did you see the billy goat? Oh, did you see the billy goat under the old oak tree?
I, tie.
The captain said aye, aye. The captain said aye, aye. Stand up straight, don't be late. The captain said aye, aye.
E, B. Or, fork.
See the donkey in its stall. E or is its call.
Hi, in this video we are going to learn what is segmenting. Segmenting is equally important as our blending. So what is segmenting exactly? Segmenting is the process of breaking down words into its smallest sound. In other words, segmenting is identifying how many sounds are there in a particular word. It is totally opposite to blending. What we used to do in blending is, students, we used to mix all sounds together to read the word. In segmenting, we break the sounds from that word, and this is the reason why segmenting is considered as writing technique. We use finger method for segmenting the sound of that word. For example, can you tell me how many sounds you can hear in a word crook? Crook. So sounds I can hear in word crook is k, r, oo, k. That means I have 4 sounds in a word crook. K, r, oo, k. You can also ask children to identify how many sounds are there in a word sand. Sand. Let them identify. Let them pick up the sounds on their fingers. And could you write that down in book for me? So they write and. This is how segmenting helps them for writing skills. And as you all know that Jolly Phonics not only focuses on reading skills, but it also includes writing skills as well. Now students, I would like you all to practice segmenting at your own, and that's why I have written assignment sheet for you. You can go to download section and please download the assignment, and you can do segmenting on your own. We call it as finger method. We identify sounds on our finger. And I would like to share one tip here with you is, when you are introducing segmenting to children for the first time, you can actually drag the word like sand, sand. So they understand how many sounds do I hear in a word sand. So they would be able to segment the sound precisely from that word. So in short, segmenting is writing technique, and in segmenting we break down the word into the smallest sound. Hi, in this video we are going to learn what is consonant blends. Now before I explain you what is consonant blend, can you tell me what are the consonants? What are the consonants? Yes students, you all are right. Except vowels A, E, I, O, U, rest of the letters are considered as consonants. Now what is consonant blends? Consonant blend is nothing but when group of consonants are written together which is not separated by vowels, and each consonant has their own distinctive sound and you can hear it in a quick succession, is called as consonant blends. Let me explain you again. What is consonant blends? Consonant blends are when 2 or more consonants are written together which is not separated by vowels. It is a group of consonants, okay? And each consonant will have their own sound. They will retain their own sound, but you can hear each consonant sounds in quick succession. Let me give you some examples. So let's take first example, black. In a word black, what do you think, which is the consonant blend? A consonant group? Black. It's B and O. 2 consonants are written together and I can hear both the consonant sound B and O when I say black. But I hear it quickly. I say black. I don't say black. So that's B and L in black is a consonant blend. It can also be called as consonant cluster. Some teachers or some trainers may call it as consonant cluster, and that is also fine. Let's take another example, crab. Can you tell me what is a consonant blend or consonant group? Crab. Yes, you all are right. It's kr, k and r. So when I say a word crab, I can hear both the sound k and r, but quickly. Crab. I don't say crab. I say crab. Let's take last two examples so that you can understand more better. And other example is milk. Milk. Can you tell me what is the consonant cluster here? It is lk, lk. When I say milk, I hear both the sound l and k, but quickly, milk. I don't say milk. Okay? And your last example is hand. Hand. What is the consonant blend here? Yes, you all are right. It is nd. Nd. So when I say a word hand, I can hear the sound n and d distinctively, but I hear it very fast. Nd. Hand. I don't say hand. Hand. Students, there are two types of consonant blends. First is initial, second one is final. What is initial consonant blends? When you hear consonant blend in the beginning of the word, when it is starting, word is starting with that consonant blend, is called as initial consonant blends. So examples like black, crab, step, we hear consonant blends in the starting, in the beginning of the word. So this is called as initial consonant blends. What is final consonant blends? We hear consonant blends in the end of the word is called as final consonant blends. So examples like hand, milk, lamp, and so on. So if you observe, in all these three words, I hear consonant blend in the end of the word. That's why it is called as final consonant blends. There could be few words wherein you can have both the types, initial also and final also. For example, the word itself, blend. Blend. I hear bl in the beginning and nd in the end. So it has initial and final, both the types. Now students, I would like to show you some words wherein we have initial consonant blends and final consonant blends. Let's have a look at it.
Let's first look at the initial consonant blends. Initial consonant blends are the one which you can hear in the beginning of the word. So let's start from the first consonant blend, initial consonant blend. Bl, black, gl, clap, fl, flag, gl, glam, pl, plum, sl, sling, br, brick, cr, crab, dr, drum, fr, frog, gr, green, pr, prick, tr, train, st, step, sp, Spain, st, stick, tw, twin, sw, sweet, sm, smack, sn, snip, str, string, shr, shrug, spr, spring. So as you must have heard, while I was saying all these words, I could hear consonant blends in the beginning of the word. So we call it as initial consonant blends. Now let's look at some final consonant blends examples. As you know, final consonant blends are the one which you can hear in the end of the word. So let's start from the first final consonant blend. Ulp, as in gulp, nk, bank, sk, brisk, nt, tent, kst, text, nd, hand, ft, lift, ulb, bulb, ult, belt, champ, st, best. So as you may have heard that while I was saying all these words, we could hear all these consonant blends at the end of the word, and hence we call it as final consonant blends.
Students, let me ask you one question. Why do you think that we need to introduce consonant blends to children? Anyways, my children can read the words b, Black, black without consonant blends. Then why do I teach my children consonant blends? The reason is that your children can read little faster with the help of consonant blends. So once you have taught them consonant blends, they will start reading that consonant group together. So rather than reading b, l, a, k separately as black, they will read it bl, a, k, black, frog, frog, step, step, milk, milk. So consonant blends will help them improve their speed of writing. Now students, I would like you to practice consonant blends at your own, and hence I have attached assignment sheet below. You can download it and you just need to identify what is initial consonant blend and what is final consonant blend from the words. Welcome to section 8, and in this section we are going to learn what is tricky words. Now let's understand what is tricky words. Tricky words are those words which cannot be blended with the regular sounds. Yes, you heard that right. Tricky words cannot be blended with the regular sounds. If we try to blend them with regular sounds, the words would be really funny or weird to hear. Now some letters in tricky words can be regular and some letters in tricky words can be irregular. Now let's try to blend these words with the help of their regular sounds and see what happens. So the first word is sh, share. I am blending with their regular sounds. Sh, share. T, ta. Hare. Don't you think it is sounding so funny, and it's moreover it's weird to hear share, ta, hare. I don't say share is my friend. I have ta go. Come here. So what happens if we try to blend these tricky words with their regular sounds? It becomes funny, it becomes weird. Now let's say the correct word of these tricky words and try to identify the tricky part. Which letter is giving us irregular sound? So let's take the first word. When we say the word she, what sounds you can hear? Sh, e. So what is the regular? Its SH is giving sh, regular sound, and letter E which is giving irregular sound, and that is E, not E. That means in a word she, letter E is giving us irregular sound. In a word to, what is regular? It's T. And what is irregular? Letter O. Letter O is giving us oo sound. It's T, oo, to. So T is regular sound, oo, that's letter O, is irregular letter. Letter T is giving us regular sound, letter O is giving us irregular sound. In a word here, what are the regular letters and what are the irregular letters? Which is not giving us regular sound. So when we say a word here, its H is giving, that means it is regular. Letter E is not giving us regular sound. It is saying E again. That means letter E is irregular. And next letter is R, here. R is regular, and last E is not giving us any sound. That means again it is irregular. So students, in this case, how do we read then? If it is not possible to blend the sounds, the words with the help of the regular sounds, then how do we read this word? We simply read these words with their letter names. We say S-H-E, she, T, O, to. H-E-R-E, here. We have to read tricky words by their letter names and not their sounds. Now students, I would like to give you some words here and I would like you to tell me what are the regular sounds and what are the irregular sounds. Here are your words: want, does, was and so. You get 30 seconds. You can underline the tricky part. You can underline irregular sound or the letter which is giving irregular sound. You get 30 seconds for it. Come on, let's get started. Want, does, was and so. So let me give you one tip here. Try to read that word correctly, like want, and try to identify the sound want and match it with their respective letters. If that letter is giving its regular sound, that means it is regular. And if that letter is not giving you regular sound, that means it is irregular. Want, does, was, so. Okay, now let me help you for the answers. So your first word is want. What sounds we can hear? So letter W is giving its regular sound W. Letter A is giving irregular sound A. It is not giving us A sound, it is giving us A sound. That means it is irregular. Then and T and T are giving the regular sound. That means it is regular. So in this case, how do we read the word? W-A-N-T, want. Second word is does. Does. First, let's try to identify how many sounds. What sounds are there? D, Z. It's D, Z. Letter D is giving regular sound D. Its O and E together is giving us a sound. It's O and E together giving us a sound. That means it is irregular. Not regular, it is irregular. And can you tell me letter S is giving regular or irregular sound? It is saying Z. Z. It is not saying its regular sound. S. It is saying Z. It is saying Z's sound. Z. That means S is also irregular in this word. So how do we read this? D, O, E, S, does. Let's check the next word. Was. What is regular? Yes, W is regular. A and S is irregular because A is giving O sound and S is giving again Z sound. So how do we read this word? W-A-S, was. And the last word, so. So. Letter S is giving regular sound, S. And letter O is giving irregular sound, that's O. It is not saying A. We don't say saw, we say so. So letter O is irregular here, and in this case we read the word as S-O, so. I hope I made it very clear to you that why these are called as tricky words. Students, now let's understand how many tricky words are taught to children.
Now let's learn how many tricky words are taught to children in phonics. There are 72 tricky words in total that we teach children. As you know, that tricky words cannot be blended with the sound and children have to memorize it. So as you can see here, there is a tricky word wall and 72 tricky words are divided into different color coding system. What I believe is, these words are divided according to the similarities in words. similarities in form of their spellings, or the words are rhyming with each other, or pronunciations are similar when we hear the words. So if we start from the pink color flower, we can see at the bottom would, could and should. So what is the similarity that you find in all these three words? It's OULD, 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 that's common. It's just W, C and S at change. Then if you see on top of it, pink color flower top, does and goes, OES remains same, it's just that D and G changes. It is not that you will always find some or the other similarities in all the words, but yes, majority of it we find it. Then if we come to the green color flower, we can see some similar words like any, many, before, more. Then they have tried to cover up question type words like which, why, where, who. Then if you come to yellow color flower, we can see go, so, no, some, come, you, your, like that. If you come to blue color flower, we can see similar words like he, me, she, we, be, such kind of words wherein we see a lot of similarities in pronunciations as well as their spellings. Then if we come to red color flower, I just see two words that is same, live and give. So it is pronouncing same. Moreover, the spelling is also similar. IVE is common, just L and G is changing. Rest of the word we don't find any other similarities. And if you see brown color flower, it is grouped separately just because there are no other words that gets similarities, and that is the reason why these words are actually grouped separately as brown color. So if you check the word also, mother, always, upon, once, cover, love, eighth, of, we don't find any similarities in any of these words, and that is the reason why I believe there is a separate group brown color for all these words. Students, as you know that tricky words cannot be blended with the regular sound, it has to be memorized. I am going to share a lot of fun activities that will help you understand how to teach tricky words to children, and we make sure that we do not burden children for memorizing all these tricky words.
Students, I hope you understood how many tricky words are taught to children and how it is divided according to their similarities in the words. Now, as you know that tricky words cannot be blended with the regular sounds and it has to be memorized. So we make sure that children should not be burdened of memorizing tricky words, and we try to add lot of fun and interest while we are teaching them tricky words. Let's discuss some activities through which you can teach them tricky words and you can make your lesson tricky words interesting in your classroom.
This is the first and most popular method of teaching children tricky words, which is called as look, copy, cover, write, check method. Before I explain you how to do this activity, let me first tell you how many tricky words are taught to children in a day. You can teach them maximum 6 tricky words in a day. Just make sure that you take up your tricky words in such a manner that you find some or the other similarities in those 6 tricky words. It can be either the spellings are similar, or it is rhyming with each other, or the pronunciations are somewhat similar, which I already explained you while explaining you 72 tricky words. So it becomes easier for them to remember, to memorize the tricky words. Now let me explain you this activity. There are 3 columns, and in each column there is an instruction written. First instruction is look and say. So child has to look at that word and say it aloud. T-H-E, the. Now let's look at the second instruction. Look, say and write. So child looks at the word, say it aloud, T-H-E, and then he writes it in the second column, T-H-E, the. Now third column, it says cover and write. So now child has to cover instruction number 1 and 2 with his hand, and he has to write the word the himself. So basically, instruction number 3 or column number 3 is helping my child memorize the word. So he writes it T-H-E, the. Now he has to check whether the spelling that he has written for the word the, T-H-E, the, is same in all 3 instructions or in all the 3 columns. If he gets it right, then he has learned that tricky word. That's how you can complete rest of the 5 tricky words. This is actually a very good activity in teaching children tricky words, and this can be taken as a revision activity.
Now let's discuss other activities for teaching children tricky words. So, second activity you can take is 4 corners game. What you are supposed to do in this 4 corners game is, students, you can take A4 size chart paper, 4 papers, and on that papers you can write any 4 tricky words that you have already taught your children. For example, he, she, me and we. I have written them on 4 different papers, and I am going to stick each paper in each 4 different corners. Then what you can do, you can play a music, let them dance, let them run, and once you stop the music, you have a bowl. In that bowl, you have same tricky words written in chits. You can call any one child and ask the child to pick it up and read in front of class. So if child reads it as she, so children have to look into the corner, which corner has tricky word she, and then they have to go and stand in that corner. This is one of the activity that can be played. Another activity which you can play is prick the balloon. So what you can do is, you can have small inflated balloons, and on that balloons again you can write the tricky words that you have already taught your children. Then teacher will say tricky word loudly, and child has toothpick with him. He or she has to prick that balloon that has that tricky word that teacher said. This is another interesting activity that can be played with children. One more game that can be played with children is Chinese Whisper. We all must have played this game Chinese Whisper during our childhood. So what we do in this game Chinese Whisper is, we make children sit in a circle along with teacher. Teacher will say one word. Teacher will whisper one tricky word that you have already taught into the ear of child who is sitting next to her. Make sure that children whisper the words and don't say it loudly. That's why it's called as Chinese Whisper. So for example, I said the word W-A-N-T, want. I said W-A-N-T, want. Now, rest of the children will keep passing on that word. And once that word reaches finally to teacher, teacher will say whether that word was correct or not. So this is another interesting activity that can be done with children. And the last activity that I would like to share here, and I would want you to play along with me, which we call it as dot and flower. So what you are supposed to do in this game is, student, I am going to tell you words. If you think that word is regular word, it is not a tricky word, for example, bat. So bat, I can blend this word with the help of regular sounds. So I will just put one dot beside that word. And if you feel that particular word is tricky word, it cannot be blended with the sound, then you have to draw one flower beside that tricky word. Are we all ready? Come on. I want you to please take your book and pen and let's start playing it. So your first word is hen. Hen. You choose whether this is tricky word or a regular word. You'll put dot for regular word and flower for tricky word. Second word is your. 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 Next word is swim. Swim. I go to swim every day. Next word is come. Come as in come here. Come. Next word is sound. Sound. Next word is have. Have. Next word is all. All. Let's go all. And the last word is are. A-R-E-R. We are 5 friends. Are. Done? Okay. Now let me tell you answer. Hen will have a dot because it can be blended. Your will have a flower because it is a tricky word. Swim, dot. Come, flower. Sound, dot. It is a regular word. I can blend it with the sound. S, ow, d. Have is a tricky word because letter E is not giving us any sound. Have. Flower. Have will have flower. All, tricky word. Flower. Are, tricky word. Flower. So students, I hope you enjoyed this activity and you understood what is tricky word. Let me quickly conclude what is tricky words. Tricky words are nothing but which cannot be blended with the regular sound. If we try to blend with regular sounds, the words which we get out of is incorrect. The pronunciations go incorrect. Some letters in tricky words are regular and some are irregular. Now students, I would like to share something with you here is very important thing. As soon as you introduce tricky words to children, start giving them phrases for reading, short sentences. So what you can do is the tricky words which you have already taught like is, was, he, she, me, we, be, such kind of words, start putting all these tricky words into short sentences like this is black cat, he is fat, Sam is black. So what we are doing is we are now preparing children for sentences reading. I hope you understood this concept well. Hi, now let's learn second alternative vowel and that's E. Students, there are 3 ways of writing E. But as you can see in this tree, there are just 2 ways mentioned. I would like you to please make a note of it. There is another way of writing E and that's E-E. So first, as you can already see, that's double E. Second one is EA. And third one is E-E. I would request you to please add third alternative of writing E and that is E-E. That's nothing but magic E. Okay, now let's understand each and every alternative in detail. The first way of writing E, that's double E, that my children already know because I have taught them in group 4. Words like jeep, speed, sleep, green and so on. So my children already know of writing the sound E as double E. So you don't have to separately teach them, but if you wish to show them words and make them read, you can definitely do that. Second way of writing E is E-A. Now there is no particular rule when to write E-A for E sound. There is no particular set rule for writing E-A for E. We just tell children that children, we have another way of writing E and we write E-A for it. So I give this example to my children that children, when you have to read to your phonics class, many of you come from this way, many of you prefer coming from this way, many of you come from this way. So the destination is one and the same, but there are different alternative ways to reach to your phonics class. Similarly, the sound is same, E, but we have another way of writing E and we write E-A for it. And then you can show them words. Words like C. Which C you will include here? It's S-E-A-C, not S-E-E-C. S-E-E-C will go in first alternative. That's double E saying E. Here we are talking about E-A saying E. So here you can give them S-E-A-C as an ocean. Then you can give them words like read, tea, beach, plead, pee, and so on. So you can give them all these words for reading as well as writing. It's just that you have to tell them that children, you will write E-A for E sound as we are learning alternative of E sound. Now let's learn another way of writing E, and that's E-E, our third way of writing E, that's E-E. Students, there are very few words that have the E sound, but we write E-E for it. Words like Eve as in E-V-E, Eve. Then you can give word like Steve, theme, meet as in M-E-T-E, meet, P-E-T-E, Pete. Then theme, I think theme I already said. You can give them word like athlete. Yes, you can expect your child to read the word athlete, but just make sure you break the word. First, let them read at, and secondly, they read eat, lead. Remind them that children, remember, there is magic E at the end of the word. So we have to say the long sound of this letter. So they read eat, lead. And if they read et, remind them it is magic E. Whenever magic E is added, we say the long sound, not the short sound. So they read eat, lead. And if sometimes you may come across children who might say the sound of letter E that is standing in the end, that's magic E. They may read it as lite, lite, athlete. So tell them, whenever you see letter E at the end of the word, we never say the sound of that letter. Letter E at the end never gives you any sound. So I tell my children this way, magician always does his magic by keeping quiet. He does not make a lot of noise. So here magic E is a magician and it can't say the sound. So then you can give them word to read athlete, and you can really expect your child to read the word athlete. They do read the word athlete. It's just that you have to break the word and then ask them to join them together. Athlete, athlete. That's how they read it. And if you wish to give them same words for writing, you can give them for writing as well. Hi, now let's learn our fourth alternative, and that's O. As you can see in this tree, there are three ways of writing O. First is OA, second one is O-E, that's magic E, and third way is OW. Let's discuss each one of them in detail. So first is OA, that's O, that my children already know how we write O, that's OA. Words like boat, goat, float, road, toad, and so on. Another way of writing O is magic E, that's O-E. Words like home, bone, joke, slope, hope, rope, and etc. As they already know, it is magic E rule. You can also ask children to write the words. Just remember, you repeat the instruction. And another way of writing O is OW. So words like row, crow, bow, flow, snow, low, all these words can be given for O sounds. So we have three ways of writing O. First is OA, second one is O-E, and third one is OW. Hi, now let's learn our fifth alternative, and that's U. We have three ways of writing U, that's UEU, U-EU, and EWU. So my first way of writing U, that's UE, my children already know because they have learned in group 7. So words like due, queue, fuel, statue, all these words they already know to read. Another way of writing U is U-E, that we already know it is magic E rule. So words like cute, mute, mule, duke, volume. So if you want to give your children the word volume to read, make sure you break the word. First is v, o, va, and then lume, lume, volume. Such kind of words you can give them for reading as well as writing. And another way of writing U is EW. So we tell children there is another way of writing U, and we write EW for it. Words like new, few, chew, grew, stew, blew. Which blew? It's B-L-E-W, as in you blew my mind. All these words can be given to children for reading as well as writing. So we have learned three ways of writing U. First is UE, second one is U-E, and third one is EW. Hi, now let's learn our sixth alternative, and that is We have three ways of writing First is ER, second one is IR, and third one is UR. So ER saying my children already know words like fern, it's F-E-R and fern, winter, sister, river, her. All these words they know because they have learned ER saying in group 7 of Jolly Phonics sounds. Another way of writing is IR. So we tell children that children, we have got another way of writing and we write IR for it. Words like bird, girl, shirt, skirt, sir, firm, twirl, swirl, birth. Now if you want, you can give your child the word birthday and then they can join them together and read birthday. Isn't it amazing to see children reading such a big words with the help of Jolly Phonics method? Now let's discuss our third way of writing and that's UR. Words like church, turn, burn, hurt and so on. So you can give children these words for reading as well as writing. So we have got 3 ways of writing and that's ER, IR and UR. Hi, now let's learn our 7th alternative and that's OR. We have 4 ways of writing OR as you can see in this tree: OR, AU, AW and AL. So OR as in OR, my children already know. They have learned OR saying OR in group 4 of Jolly Phonics sounds. So words like corn, born, horn, popcorn, such kind of words they already read. Another way of writing OR is AW. Words like flaw, paw, jaw, claw, draw, straw and so on. So you can give all these words for reading as well as writing. Another way of writing OR is AU. So words like hall, haunt, taunt, launch, vault, all these words can be given to children for reading the sound OR, wherein we write AU for OR. And last way of writing OR is AL. Words like chalk, talk, walk. And you can also include the words mall, ball, call, fall, tall. But I like to teach all these words separately because I think it becomes little easier for children when it comes to reading and writing words like mall, ball, call, tall. They have already learned the spelling ALL all in tricky words. So I give them mall, call, ball, tall, fall words separately so that they can remember easily, as they already know all spelling as ALL. They just have to put the inside all, mall, b all, ball, k all, call, t all, tall. So that's the reason why I like to give all these words separately. You can definitely give chalk, walk and talk in AL saying OR, but I like to give my all words separately because I feel it becomes little easier for children to read as well as write. So let's recapitulate. We have 4 ways of writing OR. First is OR, AW, AU and AL. Hi, now let's learn our 8th alternative and that's OI. As you can see in this tree, there are 2 ways of writing OI. First is OI and second one is OY. My children already know OI for OI. They have already learned OI sound when we write OI in group 7 of Jolly Phonics sounds. So we just have to teach them another way of writing OI, that's OY. Now students, if you remember, I had already explained you shy I toughy Y rule. The same rule is applicable here in alternative 8. So you can ask your children, can you write the word boy for me? So they may write B-oi, and for oi they may write O-I. But immediately they understand that, oh yes, I know, Mr. I is very shy to stand alone at the end of the word. So I can't write letter I in the end, but I have to replace it with toughy Y. So they write letter Y in the place of letter I. So now they know it is OY, can also say the sound OI. So we have got another way of writing OI, and we write OY for it. Words like boy, toy, joy, roy, enjoy, employ, all these words can be given to children for reading as well as writing. Students, just make sure that if you are giving them longer words for reading and writing, please make sure to break them down and then join them together. Hi, now let's learn our last alternative, that's 9th alternative, ow. We have two ways of writing ow, as you can see in this tree. First is OU and second one is OW. My children already know OU saying ow, as in cloud, noun, couch and all these, because they've already learned the sound ow, OU in group 7 of Jolly Phonics sounds. Now let's talk about another alternative, that's OW saying ow. So we just tell children, we have another way of writing ow, and we write OW for it. Words like cow, now, town, gown, crowd, crown, and all these words can be given to children for reading and writing the sound ow. I hope you understood what is alternative vowels. Now students, I would like to ask you one question here. If you can see in tree number 4 and tree number 9, you may have seen there is OW in both the trees. So we have OW saying O and we have OW saying ow. Now how would my child know if I have to say OW for ow or OW for O? So we just simply tell them, try both the sound in that word. So for example, the word is gown and another word is flow. So you can ask that children to use both the sound, as in gown, gown, or gown, gown. And then you can put both the words in sentence and tell them, do you say I love to wear white gown or I love to wear white gown? Which one do you think is sounding correct? So they will tell you it's gown. Similarly, the word flow, tell them use both the sound, flow, flow, and flow, flow. So do you say the rivers flow or you say the rivers flow? Which one do you think is sounding correct? So they say it's river flow. So you can ask them to use both the sound. Students, I would like to share some more information on alternatives. I have already explained you what is alternative vowels, and we have learned 9 alternative vowels. But does that mean that English has just 9 alternatives? No, it has many more alternatives. But what could be the reason why we have so many alternatives in English language? There are so many reasons that can have great impact on English words and spellings. One of the reason could be its origin, the origin of English words. Majority of English words are taken from Latin and Greek origin. Even some words are taken from French and German origin. So if I have to ask you, how do you read this word? How do you read this word? Do you read it chef or you read it chef? We read it chef. So when we say the word chef, I hear CH saying sh sound and not ch sound, which I have already taught you, right? So that means when CH is saying the sound sh, that is taken from French origin. Similarly, another word, how do you read this word? How do you read this word? Do you read it chemist or chemist? Neither of it. We read it chemist. So again you see here, CH is neither saying sh nor ch. It is saying k as in chemist. Why so? Because when CH is saying k sound, that means it is taken from Greek origin. So origin plays a very important role in English spellings and words. Another reason could be English is considered as global language of communication. It is spoken across the world and hence it has great impact on English language being written and spoken. And another reason could be due to fashion and trend. Sometimes some words are actually evolved due to fashion and trend. So if you see the word selfie, yoga, these words are used across the globe and hence it has come into existence. These are few of many reasons why we have so many alternatives in English language. Hello, welcome to section 10, and in this section we are going to learn spelling rules. We are going to learn 7 spelling rules. Our first spelling rule is shy I toughy Y rule, which we have already learned during alternative vowel sounds. Let me quickly have a recap of what is shy I and toughy Y rule. So the rule says that English words cannot be ended with single letter Y. That means Mr. I is very shy to stand alone at the end of the word. So toughy Y comes and takes its place. So we replace our letter I with letter Y. Let's check the examples.
As you can see here, there are 2 different spellings written for the word day. First one is D-A-I. Now as I already explained you that Mr. I is very shy to stand alone at the end of the word. So it can't stand at the end of the word and hence we can't write D-A-I, day. So who comes and rescue Mr. I? It is Stuffy Y who comes and rescue Mr. I. So we write letter Y in the place of letter I. So we replace the letter I with the letter Y. So we write D-A-Y for the word day. And then you can give children the words like day, may, pay, play, stay, and so on.
Our next spelling rule is magic E rule. This rule is already taught to you during alternative vowel sounds explanation. Let me have a recap of what is magic E rule. Before I teach you what is magic E rule, first I would like to revise short and long vowel sounds with you.
Let's revise our short and long vowel sounds. Our short vowel sounds are a, e, o, and our long vowel sounds are a, e, I, o, u.
So, as we know, our short vowel sounds are a, e, o and a. And our long vowel sounds are a, e, I, o, u. Students, I would advise you to take a quick revision of short and long vowel sounds before you introduce Magic E to your children. As we have already learned Magic E during our alternative vowel sound, let's have a quick revision of what is Magic E rule. So Magic E rule says that whenever letter E or Magic E is added at the end of the word, the magic of it jumps over the vowel that comes before it and it changes the sound from short to long. Now, in order to understand this in a better way, let's look at some examples.
So as you can see here, the short a becomes long a in the word main. Then short e becomes long e in the word meat. Then short e becomes the long I in the word pine. Then short a becomes long u in the word cube. And short o becomes long o in the word note. So as you can see, whenever we add Magic E at the end of the word, it changes the vowel sound from short to long.
Now let's learn our next spelling rule, that's soft C and soft G. So what does this rule says? Soft C rule says that whenever you see any of these letters, that's E, I or Y, after letter C, then letter C changes its sound from K to S. I repeat my explanation. Whenever you come across any of these letters, that's E, I or Y, after letter C, then letter C changes its sound from K to S. Same goes with soft G. So whenever you see any of these letters, same like I, E or Y, after letter G, then letter G changes its sound from G to J. I repeat, whenever you see any of these letters, that's E, I or Y, after letter G, then letter G changes its sound from G to J. Now let's look at some examples so that you can understand it better.
As you can see in this example, that whenever we see any of these letters E, I or Y after the letter C, we immediately change its sound from K to S. So if you see in the examples, city, cell, cycle, letter C is changing its sound from K to S. Same goes with letter G. So if you see any of these letters E, I or Y after the letter G, it changes the sound from G to J. So in examples, gel, ginger, gym, letter G is saying J sound, not G sound. There could be some exceptions to the rule, students, and one of the exception that you can see here is gift. You may or may not find some or the other exceptions in almost all the spelling rules.
Students, now let's proceed ahead with our next spelling rule. And our next spelling rule is K, or CK. So many a times we come across words wherein words end with K or some words end with CK. What is the reason behind it? So there is a rule. So let's understand the rule for the letter K. So whenever any word is ending with K sound, I repeat, if any word is ending with the sound K, and if before the sound K you hear consonant sound or a digraph sound, then we write letter K for it. Let me repeat my explanation. If any word is ending with the sound K, and if before K sound you hear consonant sound or a digraph sound, then we write letter K for it. So when do we write letter CK? It's very simple. If any word is ending with K sound and if before K sound there is a short vowel sound, so it can be a, e, a, short vowels. So if you hear any of the short vowel sounds before K sound, then we write letter CK for it. I repeat, if any word is ending with K sound and if before K sound you hear any of the short vowel sound, then we write letters CK for it. Let's check some examples so that you can understand it nicely.
Now let's understand the rule K or CK with the help of this example. So when do we write letter K at the end of the word? So whenever you hear consonant sound or a digraph sound before K sound, then we write letter K for it. So if you can see in the word pink, we hear consonant sound before K. So we end that word with the letter K. If you check another example, book, we hear digraph sound before K, and hence we write letter K for it. If you see in the word milk, is a consonant sound and we write K for it. Similarly, in the word park and cloak, we have digraph sound and that's why we write letter K for it. And when do we write CK at the end of the word? It is very simple, students. Whenever you hear short sounds a, e, a before the sound K, then we write letter CK for it. So if you see in the word pack, sick, duck, neck, clock, we hear short sounds before the sound K, and that's the reason why we write letter CK for it.
Now let's understand our next rule, and our next rule is floss rule, or we can call it as fizzle rule. So when we say fizzle rule, we talk about 4 letters: F, S, Z and L. Now let's understand what is floss rule. So this rule says that if any word is ending with any of these 4 letters, that's F, S, Z or L. If any word is ending with any of these 4 letters, F, S, Z or L, and if before these letters you have short vowel sounds, then we double the letters F, S, Z or L. I repeat my explanation. If any word ends with any of these letters, that's F, S, Z or L, and if before these letters you hear short vowel sounds, then we double these letters F, S, Z and L. Now in order to understand this in a better way, let's look at some examples.
Now let's understand floss or fizzle rule with the help of this example. So this rule says that if any word is ending with any of these letter sounds, that's f, s, z or o, and if before any of these letter sound you hear short vowel sounds, that's a, e, o, then we double these letters. So if you see in the word bluff, before f we hear a short a, so we double the f. In the word kiss, e is a short sound, we write double s. In the word bell, e is a short sound, so we write double l. In the word jazz, we hear a as a short sound, so we double the letters z. In the word doll, o is a short sound, so we double the letters l. Exceptions to this rule is bus and gas. We don't double the s. That is the reason why it is considered as exceptions. As you can see in the word bus and gas, we hear short sounds only a and a, but still we don't double the letter s, and that is the reason why it is considered as exceptions to the rule.
Now let's understand our next spelling rule, rabbit rule, or you can call it as doubling rule. Some teachers may call it rabbit rule and some may say it doubling rule. You can call it any one of it. Okay, now let's understand what is this rabbit rule all about. So before I explain my children this rabbit rule, I ask them to write the word muffin for me. So they write the word in. So they write M-U-F-I-N. They don't know that I have to write double F in between, and that is where I'm going to explain them the rule. So rabbit rule says that whenever there is a middle consonant, I talk about middle consonant, not the starting, not the ending, middle consonant. When there is a middle consonant standing between two vowels, and if first vowel is giving short sound, then we double the middle consonant. So let's check in the word muffin. Our middle consonant is F. It is standing between two vowels U and I. And our first vowel is giving short sound, that's muffin. A is giving short sound. So we are going to write double F for it. I repeat my explanation. Rabbit rule says that whenever there is a middle consonant standing between two vowels and if first vowel is giving short sound, then we double the middle consonant. Let's check some examples so that you understand it in a better way.
Now let's understand rabbit or doubling rule with the help of this example. So the rule says that whenever middle consonant is standing between two vowels and if first vowel is giving us short sound, then we double the middle consonant. So if you see in the word gossip, which is the middle consonant, it is letter S. Okay, it is a middle consonant standing in the middle. It is standing between two vowels O and I, and our first vowel O is giving us short sound O. So when we say gossip, we hear short O. It is giving us short sound, and that is the reason why we double the middle consonant S. So in a word gossip, we write double S. You can check more examples like muffin, batter, tennis, traffic, button. You can literally see, you can literally understand that why all these middle consonants are doubled, because it is following the rule. It is standing between two vowels and first vowel in each word is giving short sounds, and that is the reason why it is doubled.
Now let's learn our last spelling rule, that is C or K. When do we write letter C or K for K sound? Students, you may have observed that many English words that is starting from K sound, sometimes we write letter C, sometimes we write letter K. Now actually there is a rule behind it. So what is the rule? When do we write letter C and when do we write letter K for K sound? So rule says that if any word is starting with K sound and if after that K sound there are any of these letters, that's A, O or U, then we write letter C for K sound. Let me repeat. If any word is starting with K sound and if you see any of these letters, that's A, O or U immediately after K sound, then we write letter C for that K sound. Now when do we write letter K? So if any particular word is starting with K sound and if after K sound there are any of these two letters, that's E or I, then we write letter K for K sound. Let me repeat. If any word is starting with K sound and if after K sound you see any of these letters, that's E or I, then we write letter K for it. Words like kit, king, kettle, kitten, kiwi and so on. So in short, letter C takes up the letters A, O and U and letter K takes up the letters E and I. Now let's check some examples so that you can understand this in a better way.
Now let's understand the rule C or K with the help of this example. So as I already explained you that if any word is starting with the sound K and if after K sound we have the letters A, O or U, then we write letter C for it. And if we have the letters E and I, then we write letter K for it. So if you can see in the example cat, cotton and cube, we have the letters A, O and U immediately after the sound K and hence we have written C for it. And if you see in the word key and king, we have the letters E and I after the sound K and hence we have written letter K for it. So in short, letter C takes up the vowels A, O and U and letter K takes up the vowels E and I. Exceptions to the rule is kangaroo and karma.